from Sweet Shots in Fargo, North Dakota. Might have just scared people listening on that one. But we're back. Sweet Shots podcast. Lucas Johnson alongside Chuck Johnson. And back from his tropical vacation, Mark Johnson, back in the studio. Well, good to have you back here, Mark.
It's good to be back.
Is Jamaica considered tropical?
I would think. It's an island.
Caribbean.
Yeah, I suppose.
Pirates?
I don't know tropical, but it's definitely warm.
Okay, is it Pirates of the Caribbean or Pirates of the Caribbean?
Caribbean.
It's in the Caribbean. Every day it's 83 to 86. And yeah.
And you left it all there. You didn't bring in any sun, no warm.
Nope,
well,
did
I
not
guess
bring it back. It is
30.
It's not terrible here,
Oh, it's,
considering.
I don't know.
But it's
Winter
fine.
storm.
I would call it balmy. It is balmy.
It's fine.
You find the spot under the heater.
We are
We
definitely
were talking about it, Chuck. You don't need a jacket out there today.
No, I was out there in this, and it was almost too warm.
Well, we lowered the heaters where the people are at.
Right,
So it's
yeah.
guys like me need sunscreen on the head. I mean, it's cooking out there now.
It is.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest improvement we've made in terms of heating this place, keeping it warm, is we took the back row heater and we dropped them 18 inches. And it's amazing the difference that makes. I mean, we were out on first floor last night for league night, or last league night, and we were talking with your buddy JP, and he had his whole closet. He was ready to go to war basically with the cold. And he's got his whole closet just draped
Ready.
over the golf clubs.
I think he said he had 5 layers at the ready, but he only needed 1.
Yeah.
It was that nice. And his bucket of beers, did you see that? It was a pond. There was no ice set by the end of the night.
Yeah, it
just
just
the ice
melted.
melted really quick. So
Yeah, it's keeping it warm. That's the number one goal, and
Yep.
I think it's dropping those heaters is huge. But yeah, we also touched on it yesterday too, Mark. You brought back some voodoo magic from Jamaica, talking about fantasy football. I know we're a fantasy golf podcast, but last night was so fluky. I just don't know if we can brush by that as a fantasy.
well, it couldn't have been scripted any better to be there next to the guy that you're playing,
Right.
right? And
Yep, and
he's
we go
got-
back. So we're talking about fantasy football.
Yeah.
We've been in the league for 25 years.
Yeah, bowling days.
And, I mean, it's coming down to the final night. Our buddy TNT, he's the most storied franchise in the history of our 25 years. He's got me by a few games,
Yep.
a few championships, but I'm right up there with them.
You got a banner.
And it's coming down to my defense, New England, highly touted defense, against his quarterback, Kyler Murray. Somebody?
Kyler
Is
Murray.
that his
Yep.
name?
Yep.
And I threw out some text, perhaps from Jamaica. They do make.
Yeah, they got voodoo dolls down there and stuff. Yeah.
I threw out some text about the league getting soft, and I hope his quarterback doesn't end up on IR with a hangnail. I think
Hangnail.
was the game. It
Mm.
was
Yeah.
the well in Jamaica that might be code for ACL tear.
Whoops.
I don't know, what was it, the fourth play of the
It
night?
had to be third or fourth play.
And we're here to watch this together at Men's League Golf, and we're going to enjoy this matchup, epic matchup, and his guy goes down.
Yes. Non-contact injury.
Non-contact. Those are honestly the scariest
Yeah.
because it's just when it happens, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't blame anyone. It's just pop.
Well, and these guys are so big and strong and fast, and you just now that was natural turf, right? They played in Arizona.
They played in Arizona.
And they bring in their natural turf.
Yeah, is it real grass? is
Real
what you're
grass.
saying. Yep,
Real
yep,
grass.
yep.
So I'd love to see the stats now. Real grass versus artificial turf with the new field turf for injuries.
Right.
I heard that the turf, not the natural grass, is worse. It creates more injuries.
Well, that was always the case, but
Right.
I thought that they fixed that with the pellets and whatnot. But-
There's still a big push recently.
We could probably Google that.
Yeah.
I bet we could.
But which led me to, I watched a 30 for 30 on Bo Jackson. And he's too young to know Bo. But Bo knows.
Well, let's pause there. Do you know who Bo Jackson is?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
you do?
baseball and football.
Okay, I like it.
Did you
Okay.
know before today? Because we talked
Yes.
prior to the
Yes,
show.
I did.
You did.
Yeah, I enjoy sports. Yes, so I did know.
All right.
Nike had a marketing campaign around him, if
Yep.
you remember. bow nose, and
Yep.
it was everything.
Everything.
And they played one of the commercials in the 30 for 30. You know, Bo's shooting hoops, Bo's jogging, Bo's actually he was a very good archery person.
Was
He
he?
still is. Yeah, he's excellent. Loves to hunt.
I think
Bo
they're
knows
just-
all these sports.
They're just called archers, not
Ar-
archery.
ar-
person.
Okay,
Oh,
archers.
they're archers.
And then they show from the waist up, he's like in a hockey jersey, and he gets checked or he checks, and they go, Bo knows. No, he doesn't know how.
I
to do
remember
that.
Yeah, I've
He
seen that.
doesn't know
That was really good.
It was a very clever, but that's how big he was. I mean, he was just an amazing athlete that, you know, he played. He's the only person to achieve a lot of accomplishments in football and baseball at the same time,
Yep.
but he's not in the Hall of Fame for either one of them because his career was so short.
He's not in the Hall of
He's
Fame.
not in the Hall of Fame for
Mm,
either
that surprises
football
me.
or
Okay.
baseball.
Remember how good he was on Tecmo Bowl?
And they talked about that. I don't want to ruin the
Unstoppable.
30 for 30 for people, but unstoppable.
Yep.
If you zigzagged,
Yep.
and the guys were just diving at him.
Yep.
One would
No
dive,
chance.
the D would dive.
Yep.
And you could not catch Bo. And you had Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen in the same backfield
Yeah, you
for
did.
the Raiders.
Raiders, yes.
Tough team. Couldn't beat them. Tecmo.
Nah, they did have Marcus Allen. Okay.
Yeah. So,
So I got to watch that one.
Yep. So back to the injury. Yeah, I feel bad. You know, but that's fantasy sports. That's when we're talking golf. You never know
Mm-hmm.
what's going to happen, and that's why it's fantasy. It's gambling. It's
Yep. Yep.
You just never know.
All
So-
I know is I don't want you saying a single word about my DraftKings teams for golf. I just don't want you. I don't want you doing
Right.
He's got the
anything.
voodoo.
I don't want to know
right,
your thoughts.
right. So, did you have teams for last week when I was gone? Did
No,
you end
so
up
you
picking?
actually you couldn't
No.
do because it's a team event,
Yeah.
best ball event. The QBE, you can't have DraftKings. So when Tom was here and he talked about it, we were like, yeah, they got that. They don't have that.
Okay.
They
Nope.
don't. They
Couldn't
had
pick
the DP World Tour. We talked about doing that, but we weren't. That would have been too far of a stretch, I think, for our golf knowledge.
That's all that's out there again this week.
Yep. And we're looking at the PNC parent-child. We're
love it.
jumping around. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we got a lot golf news to talk about. But I mean, really, the highlight that I think we wanted to touch on today that cannot go unnoticed is that if you are a professional golfer
Mm.
at this point,
PGA Tour player.
PGA
'Cause
Tour
I'm
player,
professional.
we're 100% win ratio. You come on this show,
Yeah.
you win your next tournament.
You can't argue with the facts.
So we had Tom Hoagie on here. It was 3
Yeah.
weeks ago now.
Yeah.
And he came in,
Yep.
talked about it, thinking about it, Mark, it might have been your comments.
Yes. You
As
challenged
much as we gave you grief for trying to challenge him and making him feel all uncomfortable in here and him almost walking out.
the President's Cup. Actually, probably the
State
bigger question was the
championship.
state
Yeah, I think
championship.
it was
Not
the
earning
same.
that.
Yep.
Yep.
And then he goes on his next tournament, the QBE, which he acknowledged on the show. That's his next tournament.
Yep.
He goes out and win it with his partner, Sahith Thagala.
Good.
Both these guys are rookies at the tournament. This is their first year at the tournament.
Yep.
And they ran away. Well, they didn't run away with it, but they ended up winning. 34 under par best ball for 4 days.
That's impressive.
34.
Yeah, that's making some putts. That's playing well. And I didn't get to watch it the final day, but the article I read said Hoagie kind of carried the load. The gal hurt himself or pulled a muscle
Oh, I hadn't heard
early in the round.
Mm.
And then it loosened up later in the round and he started playing better again.
He gave it a lash on 18 to get it down there, and then hit a safe one. I think. So actually the bigger story was they were playing with Charlie Hoffman and Ryan Palmer in that group, and on 17, Heath and Tom had a 1-stroke lead, and Ryan Palmer was chipping for eagles. Did you see this clip?
Yeah, I watched it with you in the lounge.
That's
yesterday.
right. Yeah. So I think Ryan was either over the green or short of the green, but he had to chip up this hill. I mean, it was probably
For eagle.
12-foot hill for eagle. He was there in 2. And he tries to get too cute with it, stays on top, rolls all the way back down to him.
He had to move 2 feet.
Yeah,
Mm.
just took a step to the right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, oh, that's too bad. And he hits his next one and just one hop jars it right into the hole
For
for
birdie.
birdie to tie the lead.
Oh, gross.
So then they're going into 18 after just witnessing that. All 4, even the announcers were just like, this is great golf because all 4 of them pumped it right down the middle of the fairway. it's kind of a weird tee shot on 18. You can't off the tee box. It looks more demanding than it actually is. They pumped it down there, and then all 4 of them put it to like 12 feet. So you're sitting there watching it. You're like, this just became a putting contest. I mean, there's no whoever makes their putt's going to win. And then Sahith ended up going first. Tom was closer. He was furthest away, and he drains it. So it was Tom didn't even have to putt on the last one.
Yep.
And both Ryan and Charlie missed their putts high side. Ball didn't move. So, I mean, it was great golf to watch them. Watch them play. I'm 34 under is no joke.
So think of that. The individual sitting in that chair. We had a chance to interview him just a few weeks ago, and then he goes out and wins the tournament.
Right.
It's remarkable.
And that's, yeah, I mean, he's now a 2-time. This is a legitimate PGA Tour victory for him. He's a 2-time PGA Tour champion on tour. So it's I think I saw that he's going to net $475,000 for that win.
Not bad. Should cover
That's
expenses
decent.
on the trip.
Yep.
So if there's other PGA pros out there listening right now and they want to be on our show, reach
Right.
out to you, LJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do they
just-
reach out?
Yeah, just give us a shout.
Give us a shout.
You know, we
Text ya or email
All
or
my
what do you-
info's on Sweet Shots website,
Okay.
sweetshots.com, under the Golf Academy tab.
It's got to be in person too. I mean, the statistics show
Yeah, we
it's
can't.
an in-person interview. It's
Yeah.
not a phone.
Yeah,
think
over the
so.
phone, we're not gonna
No guarantees.
speculate to that. We can't.
Are we
guarantee
willing
that.
to go to them?
You know, if the price is right.
You know, if Tiger said, "Hey guys, come to Florida on my yacht," I'd be willing to prior to the Masters.
I would make
Yeah.
sure that I need the temperature correct. I need my bucket of beers there. I
Okay.
mean, things got to be in the right conditions. But I'd go.
Okay.
Even if it's like the week before the Masters and it has to be at Augusta,
Oh,
we could make arrangements
I think
last
so.
minute
We could
stuff too.
probably find our way down there.
But,
But yeah, I mean, it's undeniable the effect that this podcast has on PGA Tour pros.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the stats show it.
100%.
well, not to
100%.
mention the facility, the number of balls Tom hit and practiced.
That's
I
right.
mean, he put in a little work session here.
That 87-yarder. I bet you he had an 87-yarder.
Yeah.
over the
And he was
weekend.
able to draw on that experience in Sweet Shots and just
Yep.
parlay that into some confidence.
I didn't notice an 8-iron flop shot, though. That's the only shot I didn't notice him hit this week.
with the Strata.
Strata clubs. Yeah, there's no.
So, yeah, to have someone, and again, we pumped him up. He's one of us. I mean, grew up in the area, and you could argue. I mean, he's in the top 15 U.S. players right now. I mean, he was slated for the President's Cup. We went over that, but he's top dozen players right now in the U.S. The numbers show that,
Yep.
and yeah, he's as grounded and as reasonable as they come. And
Agreed.
I would be surprised. I'm going to be surprised if he doesn't continue to have some success.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's
but
that good.
We've talked about it, Mark, before, where it's like on the PGA Tour, you don't have to be good 100% of the time or have your best 100% of the time. Eventually, to crest, and I guess none of us are speaking from experience, but just from witnessing, you have to find that peak, play well, get yourself in those scenarios, and then you're able to. You've been there. You're able to. The experience itself lends to playing well, to
Right.
be in those situations.
Right.
And Tom touched on it too when he was here, getting to play with Tiger so early on in his career. You know, he was in that final group his rookie year, which we were all like, hey, final group, go win one. But he talked about it. He's like, that was not good for the tournament. I had to deal with the crowds. I was a rookie. I didn't know what was going on. But then 2-3 years down the road, you can go back and look at that and draw on that experience as to be, you know, hey, it's not as bad as playing with Tiger, you know?
Yep. That's right.
Yeah, I think until something changes in Tom's life, be it, you know, and family will do that, you know, if they decide to have a family or I just, and physically, you know, he's at that point now where it's all coming together. He's seen these golf courses. Now he has some confidence. He has one. He knows he can play at that level. It's, you can't,
Major. I think he's a major might be in the future.
Major's a different deal,
Yeah.
but I think he's got his foot in the door. He's going to be there. I think you contend at the majors. You probably need to figure out how to win more, but you
Maybe
never
if-
know.
I think
Maybe if there's back at Pebble. U.S.
Yeah, I
or
think he's
PGA?
got. I think he's got good. To your point, Mark, I think it comes down to the experience side of things. I mean, he's been in the situations on regular season events where now he has that experience of winning, and he knows what that's like. But to your point, it is a different animal in majors. I mean, it's just and he has played relatively well in the last major. I mean, Masters he made the cut, right? I think he played pretty well over there.
Did he make the cut
I don't know if he made the cut.
at Augusta last year?
Wasn't he up there one of the days?
I don't know. We'll have
Anyway.
to.
We'll have to research.
I know he played well on one of the majors out there. The U.S. Open, I thought it was.
Maybe.
Either way.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it just now that he's got his foot in the door with the majors, he's getting himself in a position to get those invites back. The more he plays in them, I think the more success he's going to have.
Yeah.
It's easy sitting here saying that.
Yeah.
It's a whole different animal playing.
Well, and you look at these two, his partner, Thigala, so a real rookie on tour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like first year out of Pepperdine.
Yep.
I believe. Really talented guy that's on this line, this
Upward
rocket
trend,
ship
yeah.
of he needs experience. He's got a lot of confidence, but there's no substitute for being in the saddle. And, he's going to be linked to Tom forever to kind of,
cool.
hey, they won. We won this. I learned how to win in some regard. I'm
Yep.
sure he's won a lot in college, but it's a different deal out on the tour. And there's another player that's probably going to parlay this into just, a great career. So it's
that's
fun to watch. And they're different, right? Thigala's what, 24, 25 maybe?
Yeah. Young. I mean,
Yeah.
he couldn't be. Yeah, he's not older than 25.
So it's great. Great connection to the show. And we are 1 for 1.
1 for 1. I love it.
Yeah, 100%. I'd rather use the 100% mark. I wouldn't say.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
We're
It's
100%.
all
100%.
100%.
So are we kind of just spitballing here different golfing topics? So
Sure. Yeah.
Mark, I know you were in the tropical area or whatever we want to call it. Did you have a chance to listen to the previous podcast?
I did. Yeah, I said I did.
Oh,
Didn't I? Or
no.
was that on
That
the
was back when
before?
we.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks
I
for
did
bringing
listen to
that
the
up.
podcast. I
Okay.
can't keep recordings straight. I did.
Did
Yes.
you? Okay. From the beach? Were you with a red stripe
Yeah,
in
I
your
split.
hand? Or?
I split it up. I was actually had a morning where I was in the workout room
Okay.
and had
That
it on
takes-
there.
Missing our
takes-
voices,
I was gonna
LJ,
say,
I'm sure.
That takes dedication to work out on vacation.
Sure
Yep.
does.
I don't think I could do it.
At least
I
three.
do it. When you
three
get our
times.
age, you have to do
Yeah,
that.
you
Then
kinda have
you've- for every 30 minutes, you've earned yourself another 3 beers.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how it
That's
works.
good to know. I'm gonna make a mental note of that.
When you get
So
my
I-
age.
So I got a beer and a half worth each day. No, so we, I had it on there, and then I was poolside listening to it. And Diesel, what a great young man.
Yep.
Great to have him on the show. His parents should be proud. NDSU proud. I thought you could zing him though a little bit. It took him till his 5th year to finally nudge his way in front of you on the all-time NDSU stroke average.
That
Through
is
4
true.
years, if you look at the body of work, you had him, and you let it go.
Wow, LJ.
4 years.
You had an opportunity and you didn't even say it.
There should be an asterisk on
There
his
should be.
on his
Asterisks. Yep.
on his
there's-
record.
Yep. It took him 5. It took me 4.
Should reach out to NDSU, LJ, and see if they'd add an asterisk.
I would have come back. I mean, I was up. I was going up, man. I was.
Don't you have another year of eligibility?
I do.
Oh, not anymore, though.
Yeah, I do. I got a COVID year.
Well, I thought you were
Yeah,
a pro.
but with the pro,
Oh, do I
NCAA might
automatically
have.
lose that?
Well, you haven't gone through the actual proness, because there's a ceremony.
Well, but I've
where they take a 7-iron and they do this
Tap
stuff.
both shoulders.
Yeah, and it's
in
I
a
can't-
dark room underneath a castle.
I can't go into more detail, but you haven't gone through the official deal. So if you did have second thoughts, you want to delay that a little bit just for the lifetime stroke average and go back.
I'm gonna wait till
You
he
get 'em.
completes his 5th year though, and then I'll go back.
And you'll know where it's at.
Then you're going
That's
to
a good
pick and
point.
choose the season. You're going to ask coach, you're going to go, coach, where are you guys playing this next year? And then you're going to cherry pick a season where they're playing all the
I know,
courses you played
yeah.
well at.
Augusta Pines. That was my first round
Yeah,
in the
you
60s.
just find the courses that it's like, I played where the coach, I'm coming out of
ODU.
retirement. I'm
Yeah.
back. So no, it was good, great show to listen to. And not being here, I appreciate you guys picking on me without letting me.
Did we pick on him? I don't know.
yeah.
I remember.
We were pretty nice about it.
I'm
though.
trying to
we didn't
remember.
really go
I think
too
you did
crazy.
call me Dippy at one point.
Oh,
So-
LJ.
It sounds
You
like
can
a
go
Chuck. Sounds like a Chuck move.
No,
Oh.
so but at Nate and everything that you guys have put into that program, and he's a function of persistence, right? I mean, coming
He
from
is,
East Grand
yeah.
Forks and probably not overly recruited, and what he had to do to tell coach, hey, I want to come here and play, and I'm committed. I thought that's a good life lesson for if young people are out there and you want to set some goals and you go get it. And it's amazing when you set goals like that for yourself every day, decisions on what you do, whether, I'm going to hit another 100 balls or I'm going to go, have a milkshake. That decision becomes easier because you have this goal. And I think Nate's a product of that.
Yeah. Nate has been one of the hardest workers I think I've had the pleasure of being on the team with. And I think it just comes from that mindset of, not being heavily recruited. And I know for a fact he feels like he has something to prove, and rightly so. And he did prove it with his individual win. I knew it was coming. It was kind of one of those things going through college where he would go out, rifle out a 65. He did it his freshman year at conference. He was a freshman. First round, he goes out. We're playing 36 holes because of the weather. I don't know if you made it to that one, Mark. We were playing 36 holes because of the weather. And his first round, he goes out and shoots 65, and he's leading conference as a freshman.
Wow.
And Nate, I'm sorry if I'm getting the story wrong, but that's the way that I remember it. But he again, we talked about the experience. He hadn't been in that position, and I think he went 75 or 76 in the next round. We didn't even touch on this when
I was
here,
there.
But you were there.
Yeah.
But
rumor was he peeked at his phone to look at the leaderboard.
Yes.
Which is not illegal. You can do that.
But
is
as
that
someone
like
that's
wrecking the zone?
That would be taking yourself out of the zone.
Yep. That'd be
right?
acknowledging
Without
the zone.
talking about it.
Yep.
It's still, you looked at technology. You just basically took yourself out of the zone.
Right out of it.
God, I'm doing really well. I'm going to check the leaderboard. And then you go, I'm leading by 4.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a second. I better put the prevent defense on.
Yep.
You look like the Vikes defense.
The Vikings prevent defense, which I will say, the being able to watch Tom win was a nice break from the Vikings game because they were going same time. I had the Vikings game on, and I was like, I'm done with this. I'm going to go watch Tom finish. So that was good.
So when Nate was here, we did a little prediction, though, of the big tournament. What do they call that again? The match?
The match, yeah.
And all three of us said, how's
No,
this fair?
No, not all.
No,
three
you
of
were
us.
you
Not
were
all three of us.
contrary.
Do not throw me in that group, Chuck.
You did not pick JT.
I challenged you guys. I didn't. I actually never made a pick because
you
remember,
did say
I'm
they're going to
against-
have good
I'm
morale.
against the match as a whole.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah, but can we talk about this match?
yeah.
Do they think the consumer is that? I don't want to use the word dumb, but dumb. Give us a product. The
That's where
format
I'm at,
is
yeah.
sleepy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was over before it was over. I mean, it was over so quick. It was
Right.
over before it started. I mean,
And I mean, that's okay. It's match play golf. You get that anytime. My issue with it is that everything just seems forced, right? They go to these guys before they tee off and they go, okay, JT, you got to pick on Tiger now because your relationship's so good, and make sure you guys are zinging each other and, make it funny. When you tell somebody to do that,
It's tough.
it's tough. And the product is not realistic. And then, I mean, it just, to me, it seems like these guys are stuck between playing good golf and making an entertainment product where you're asking them to hit these fantastic shots, which, might I add, they played under the lights. We had that question last time. It's like, why are they playing so? They played under the lights. Interesting twist because these guys aren't used to doing that. Depth perceptions throw it off. These guys hit some bad shots, which it's fun to see pros work their way out of it. Now, there was a couple interesting things. They did a 1 club challenge, which was really cool. I think if you do that, you turn it into a skills competition and not a match. Everything seemed forced and awkward, and
I think they.
I want them.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want them to bring back the old Skins game that we used to watch on. Was it like Thanksgiving weekend or whatever?
Yeah,
it was
that's
with
where I was
Dad,
going with it. Yeah,
right? Was they have 4 people, Chi, Trevino, or whomever it was, and they were playing for a certain denomination each hole, right?
Yep. And then if it carried over, it carried
carried
over. And then as they got later in the round, each hole went up by a little bit. It's like they're just overthinking it a little bit.
Yeah.
Those Skins games were pretty entertaining.
They were entertaining.
Pretty entertaining. You can still do it for charity.
Yep.
yeah.
So
I like the idea of a skills competition because we talk about how great a ball striker these pros are, and we saw it a little bit with the 1 club challenge on the whole. I think JT, Tiger, and Rory all picked like a 5-iron or a long iron, and Jordan went with a hybrid. And it's interesting because you got to hit certain shots, and Tiger hit like a 45-yard hook. And you look at his angle, and it is really interesting. But then you get other holes where they're just playing straight up golf and also trying to be funny. And
So I didn't watch a single second. How did Tiger look?
Tiger looked really, really good.
Did
yeah,
he?
I was impressed with. I mean, his swing is different now. You can tell he had to change his swing because of ailments.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you thought, Mark, but
I didn't watch a lot of it. I've seen some highlights, some snippets. That the foot deal's bothering him, the plantar fasciitis. But it's Tiger Woods. He can square a club face up to a ball.
right.
So
My deal was I think people tuned in to watch Tiger.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean, and that was my point of this whole deal. I think they need to come up with a better product because eventually, well,
He's
or
not
maybe
gonna-
not. Maybe they're going to be able to sell it anytime Tiger's playing golf. So, but I mean, how about the match ends early? How about you play the final holes for something, or let guys, if you're going to go match play like that, 12 holes might be too long. Maybe it's not, or maybe allow a press. So this match is over, but hey, we're gonna press and we're gonna start a new game with 2 or 3 holes left. Because what do you do? What do you do when the match is over and they still have all these commercials to run, and they're out of product? They're out of.
I will say that was one of the funnier parts. Charles Barkley gave a little dig at what was it, on TNT or whatever. Roy missed a putt, and he said something along the lines of, "That was a big one. We needed that one to go in." TNT still has 192 commercials they got to run.
Yeah. Chuck's honest. He's good. Love having Chuck Barkley.
Oh,
Charles,
here I thought
not
you were
you.
giving me some kudos.
No. I thought it was produced well from what I saw. I mean, was it Trevor Immelman?
Yeah,
He's good. He's solid.
I think they get, and I've seen it too, where the thought that have a PGA personality like Kevin Kisner, Joel Dahman, or someone that can Max Homa, someone that can rib them, right? Just follow along. They're just walking along.
Colton Nost.
Yeah,
Mm,
like
hilarious.
guys like that, where they're just able to stir the pot a little bit when they're getting too serious.
Yep.
I mean, because it was like I watched those first couple holes, and those were the worst when they were grinding. When JT like this should not be a runaway because you got guys messing with each other or whatever, like a normal round, where they're stirring the pot to make sure that this thing's not being a runaway.
Kind of equalize it.
Yeah. Faraday used to be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Faraday used to cover things and
He took
poke
the money.
He's living it.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's living it. Took
Yeah.
the money.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's I think they're out. It should be done. They could do a better job on what they're doing.
I think they're still trying to find it. I think they rely too heavily. We touched on it. Rely too heavily on Tiger Woods because they know they're going to get eyeballs on it.
Yep.
And it did feel like a forced product. Don't get me wrong. I loved watching Tiger. I loved watching. I mean, Jordan Spieth at one point talked his way through a bunker shot, which is really cool. When pros start explaining how they go through their routine, what they think. I think that's awesome. Same with they didn't have caddies, but anytime they have a caddy player conversation on normal rounds, like giving you the window into how they operate on their shots, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
that
what I
is.
like to see, not to beat a dead horse, but it could be, there's a different product in there somewhere that's similar, but maybe a little more elevated in what we're seeing. With that being said, yeah, we mentioned it, but Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas, they ran away with it. They were 3 up with 3-2, I think the match was.
And it wasn't that close. I think
it wasn't.
They
They
gave
got
an
it
8-footer to keep things interesting.
Right.
Yeah. So, but hey, it's golf. Anytime golf's featured and people are talking about it, that's good for us, good for our sport and industry. So, but they'll hopefully figure it out.
Yeah. It was golf nonetheless. Tiger Woods is back. And then he's going to parlay that right into the PNC Championship, which I think is this week, 2-day event down in Florida, I believe.
That's a match I want to see. So that's the father-son deal.
Correct.
How about John Daly and his son against Tiger?
That'd be
Tiger's
entertaining.
That's essentially what it is. I mean, John Daly and JD2 are returning champions.
They're okay.
Yep, they're defending champions. Tiger and Charlie gave him a run, late run. I don't think they made it, but it's a scramble format.
Great format for
Yeah.
a father-son
Oh,
deal
love
of
it.
all ages.
Yeah.
And well, I think all the eyeballs are going to be on Tiger and Charlie. There's some other great names in there. Obviously, JD2 and John Daly are back. You got Nick Faldo and his son, Matt, are in there. Jim Furyk's playing, Padraig Harrington. But I like having, and I think, that's another way that you could make stuff more interesting. This mixed team event, right? Nelly Korda and her dad, Peter Korda, are playing.
The tennis
And
player.
Tenor, yeah,
He was a
Oh,
tennis
yeah.
player.
like
Wow.
really good tennis.
Really
player,
good.
too.
Yeah. Top 5 guy at one point, probably.
Okay.
I'm not a
Yep.
tennis expert.
Yeah, you talk about, so I guess going back to the QBE, which Tom won, next year it's, I guess maybe he and Sahith won't have a chance to defend because it's turning into a mixed team. So it'll be PGA Tour, LPGA Tour.
Oh, really?
They tried that back in the day, the Wendy's 3-tour challenge. Seniors, women, and PGA Tour. 3 people on a team.
Sponsored by Wendy's.
Wendy's, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Home of the square hamburger.
I was going to say, I haven't been to Wendy's in forever.
And a good
Frosties are
frosty.
fantastic.
Oh, my. Really good.
Yeah.
You've never, what do you mean? You've never had one?
No, I've had them.
Oh,
yeah,
I thought
I
you
just
said
haven't
that's-
been there.
Their
in a
fries are
while.
good too.
Fries are good.
Oof.
Very appreciated, really.
It's lunchtime.
Yeah.
Where's the nearest
We're
Wendy's?
recording this over lunch. That's good. Yeah. So Nelly Korda is going to make an appearance. I think there might be a couple more. Annika Sorenstam's going to be there. I think those are the only 2 gals in the field. But there's a lot of talent on the LPGA now too, where you get them in the mix, and people always talk about how accurate they are, and everything like that. They got a lot to offer. So I like when they mix it up because there's a lot of naysayers out there. I think you can silence them a little bit by including them.
Sure.
Tom Lehman's playing, Minnesota guy.
His son.
He'll be
Yeah.
down there with his son.
His son Thomas has played in the North Dakota Open a number of times.
He's playing
So
with
he's
his
a good
son,
player.
Sean.
Solid player.
Who's playing with Sean?
Yes.
Oh, well, Thomas is probably out trying to make money
He's-
somewhere.
Yeah, he's pro, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I think let's see, Jordan Spieth's playing, Justin Thomas is playing. Justin Thomas and Mike Thomas. Mike's a PGA pro, so very similar to
Teaching pro, right?
Yes.
Yep.
PGA teaching
Yeah.
pro, so very
Yeah.
similar to our situation, Mark. And they're very close with Tiger and Charlie. So
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're playing together for TV purposes.
Is this a
but
4-day event or is it 2? Okay.
two-day scramble?
Okay.
Lee Trevino playing?
He is.
Love Lee Trevino.
Danny.
Our dad
Danny
loved Lee Trevino.
Oh, yeah.
We have film of Lee Trevino, film from a movie camera
Mhm.
from 1972. I'm going to call it. He played Edgewood. I watched that film.
72.
Yeah.
I wasn't even born.
Well, you weren't there.
Oh, I wasn't.
No, I wasn't there either. But Dad brought his big camera, and it was on film. Like
Yes.
film. So we should dig that out.
We still have those tapes.
He had a blue shirt on.
Are they considered tapes?
They're
Considered
reels.
film.
Film.
Reels.
They're film.
Yeah, you remember
So you put
those
them on
things?
the big player, and
It's like Christmas Vacation, where he goes up into the attic and
Yep.
gets all teary-eyed. We have that same thing. That same player.
yes, we do. Same
like-
with like Miracle.
Yeah, I was
Where
going to say.
Herb Brooks is
yes,
watching.
where
Yep.
He's watching all
Watching
the film.
Yeah.
We could do that. We could break down Mark's
It's
first
got a
crawl.
great sound. Actually, when you were a kid, and
Yes.
Dad brought out the film
Oh yeah.
camera. No, what do they call them? Film players? Camera? Movie
Movie camera.
cameras players.
My
What-
goodness.
This is tough.
Then he had
And then you get the white screen.
white screen, the mobile white screen.
Yep, the big screen as big as that TV.
Mom, make the popcorn. We're gonna watch some old.
Yep.
Watch Becky and Mark.
Turn
Wrestle.
out the lights, and then you got the.
Oh, it's classic.
And you're always so depressed when the reel ran out.
Yep.
And then if you didn't have them in order, you didn't. You had
Yep.
to find the next reel that would show Chuck dumping Uncle Marty off the back of a snowmobile or something like that.
It's true.
I mean,
That
we-
happened?
yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, we should dig out. That'd be a great Christmas activity for all those out there.
Yeah.
If you're parents or you own one of those, dig it out.
That's
and then
fun.
you should probably play them and record them on your phone
Yeah.
so you have them.
right, just in case.
I'm sure people are doing that out there, but yeah, there was a story, and I have to get it right, so you guys continue what you're talking about. But
Okay.
There's a story, but I don't want to misspeak.
How
So
about Lee Trevino at Edgewood?
I'm trying to remember.
Oh, okay.
Lee Trevino is he is like a national treasure for golf. I mean, his way of playing golf is very feel orientated. It's not a robotic, right? I mean, you look at his short game, and he's like,
Magical.
it is. It is. I love it. If you call it a Texas wedge or whatever you're talking about, but keeping it low, being able to reload after your shot, it's so simple and refined, and it's a skill I think many people could learn from, but it kind of flies under the radar for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, he was the best. If you look at his golf swing, when you analyze his golf swing, he was the best at getting the club down the line. So from the target back, he would have the club down the line a very long period of time. His arc was very elongated through the hit. So he had plenty of time to square up the face and make it right. And that was because he kind of had that, it was the Furyk loop, and then he kind of laterally slid through the ball before he cleared himself. And he had the club for a period of time. Lee Trevino was,
he was legit.
he was the best. He was
How
the
old
best.
is Lee? He's playing. Did you say he's
He's
playing?
got to be.
Yep.
He's got to be early 80s.
80s, yeah.
Early
Wow.
80s. And Trevino, he hated playing Augusta because he could not move the ball right to left. Anytime you're sliding that far in front of the golf ball, it's going to be these low cuts. Grew up playing in Texas.
Okay.
Grew up playing in a ton of wind.
Mhm.
So that's where he learned
Keep it low.
keep it low. And he was in the military. He played golf in the military. I forget what branch, but he was. Yes, he definitely played in the military.
Okay.
I don't have that much history on Trevino, but I grew up thinking this guy
good.
can play, and he was Hispanic.
Mhm.
So definitely a minority in the game.
Yep.
Um,
Why was he in Fargo? Was this like a
it was a
Pro-Am?
promotion.
Okay.
It was a
Didn't they
promotion.
have-
The
they had
JCs
Jack,
or somebody had. Well,
right?
Jack came and played in the National Junior, which was
That was what it was at.
which was there. Yeah.
Some promotional
Yeah.
deal. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't remember the exact story with Trevino, but he was out in front. He was mowing his yard. And somebody drove by and said something about, "Hey, how much do you charge to do my yard?" He's Hispanic, and in in Texas, it's common that Hispanics are doing yard work for homeowners. And he goes, "I don't know what you want to pay me, but this one lets me sleep with her." It was a line like that. "I don't know what you want to pay me, but this one lets me sleep with her."
I like that.
He was witty that way.
Yes. That's
look
really
up
good.
some Lee Trevino clips. I mean, the stories he can tell.
Hmm.
That's half the fun. The way that he goes through and explains everything.
Yeah.
He's a character. I think underrated at this time, and I love listening to him. Like you were saying, his swing, just being able to create the shot that he sees, because he's not the most. You talk about like a technically sound swing. You look at like a Adam Scott's very not robotic, but very on playing everything like this, and Lee is very, very not handsy, but feel
Yeah.
oriented.
Have you seen a recent video of him on the range with Charlie and Tiger?
Yeah, talking about
A few
chipping,
weeks ago.
right?
Yeah. I watched
Yeah.
that. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
See
I think
Tiger
it's,
just soaking it all in a little bit
Yeah.
too, right? It's
Yeah.
yeah. I think in
that's
the
pretty good
background
respect.
you can see Tiger. I actually think it was at the PNC last year.
Yeah. It
Oh,
was
is
last
that-
year.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And Tiger's in back, like working on it.
Yeah.
He's working on it. When you get
Okay.
Tiger trying to work on something that's cool. Also, I heard, another big thing was everyone was wondering if Charlie was going to end up copying Tiger's swing, and Tiger's like, nope, I don't want that. You're gonna copy. If you're gonna copy anyone, you're gonna copy Rory McIlroy's swing.
Yeah. I
Tiger.
saw that.
And I think the big sticking point was, did you ever see Rory off balance? That's a good point. He's never off balance.
Best driver of the golf ball out there. Yeah. I mean, we're going to break down things as we get closer to the Masters, but that guy needs to win the Masters.
He has to win the Masters.
And he's reminding me of Greg Norman, where the pressure just got so great, he just never did it. And you would have thought Greg was going to win 4, 5, or 6 of those.
Yep.
And Rory should, but nothing's guaranteed in this game.
No.
So as beautiful as golf swing as he is, tells you how tough it is to win out there.
Right.
Right.
And I'm not. I hope he wins the Masters, and not only because he's a great golfer, but because I have a Masters flag that's signed by him, and I think it would go up in value
Yeah,
if
that'd
he
be
won the
cool.
Masters.
Yep.
So that was a fun time too. I'm sure that story will get talked about closer to the Masters, but yeah, I think PNC Challenge is going to be a great event to watch. I think it's always fun to watch how the father son and father daughter teams kind of play out. What it looks like. Mark, we played in a couple way back in the day, whether it was at the Meadows. I think I played in one with Grandpa, your dad, at Fargo Country Club for that parent-child. But I don't know how we would. I mean, and right now, I don't know if we would compare real well with them out there. But there's an interesting dynamic.
We do fine
in a father-son event out when you're playing out there.
Yeah, we do fine. I'm not saying we'd win, but we do just fine.
We'd hold our own.
Yeah, we do.
I like
our
it.
Scramble format. We do fine.
How
What
about-
else is going on?
Not well. As we're talking about it, a thought popped into my head. Not to jump too far back, but the QBE results or QBE right result. We talk about that's a team format basketball. If we did our 3-man scramble to get on that, or they're going to play that basketball, there's no way
They were 34 under.
34 under.
No,
Not a chance.
no, not a chance. 20 under at the most.
34
5 a
under
day.
is absurd.
Yeah, that's absurd.
So 4 rounds, that's what, over 8 under each day.
Yeah. Not happening.
Yeah, they're that good. So
That's insane. I mean, I felt pretty confident before the QBE that we could go out there and make it work just about anywhere. And then you go look at what wins these best ball events.
yeah. Was there a
Yeah.
cut at the QBE?
I don't think so.
No,
So
I
we
don't
made
think
the
there
cut
was.
there too.
We're in.
Yeah,
We're 2 for 2 on
okay,
cut
yeah,
making.
wait.
I'd like to
we
see what the
made the
worst team shot then.
Yeah.
QBE.
We probably
But-
looked that up. But yeah, these guys can play some golf. That's a scary thing.
So can I one other golf topic?
Yeah.
So that ND that match, or excuse me, 4-person scramble we had here.
NDGA,
Thank you.
4-person scramble.
That-
yeah.
That was I know you were on a beach somewhere not a lot warmer than here, but LJ and I were here this past Saturday. Keep me honest, number of teams we had.
I think it was 13, 12
13,
or 13.
4-person teams. They played. What's the course in Sweden, Switzerland?
Yeah, it was the stadium course, the Bruhof Stadium course.
So here at Sweet Shots, they all roll in. These guys were golfers. Played 18 holes. There was some pretty nice scoring happening, and I know some of the teams you knew. Some of these
Yep.
players, really good amateur golfers in the area. Tie for first at what, 18 under?
That's what I thought. So
17.
I ended up leaving. It
Oh,
was
that's
my
right.
birthday.
It was
so
18 under.
I had a
2
concert
teams
to go
tied.
to, but
So then they had to go to a playoff, par 5, and first the one team won it with a birdie on the first hole. He
wow,
actually
that's fun.
hit the flag
Did
on
he
his
really?
approach. Yeah.
Virtually or actually?
Actually.
Okay.
Like hit the flag out.
Hit
on
it
the
out there.
range. Yeah.
Yep. Hit the target.
And was it close then in virtual world?
Well, the ironic thing of this is it would have been an eagle, but it didn't register.
No.
Yep.
What?
It was a low punch and it hit the bottom of the flag and didn't register. Then he lobbed one perfectly.
Oh, gee.
It was crazy. But they were the team. Those guys, they were good.
Where were they from?
Yes. I should
We'll
know.
look it up.
Yep.
We'll look it up. But yeah, we appreciate the North Dakota Golf Association coming out, doing an event like that. We love hosting that. Look for more events.
Yep.
Talking with them.
Yeah,
They're talking
there's-
about junior events. They're talking about mixed couples events. So
Yeah, it
Well,
was
the
a great time.
feedback. Yeah, walking the line, they had no idea. Hey, you could play that virtual golf and then be able to do it in a team format with a scramble. They thought that was the greatest thing.
Yeah, and I mean, you talk about how the system works as far as the chipping and putting. I think it took them 2 holes if they weren't familiar with it.
Yeah.
And they picked up on it like that, and guys were having a blast. It was pretty cool. We had a team from West Fargo Cheyenne was out here, state championship guys that were on the state championship
That's right.
team. They were hooting and hollering, having a great time.
Yep.
I think it was kind of I think their dads were playing right next to them, so I think it was to give them a little.
And the dads beat them.
Oh, did they?
They did. They at the turn they were down, but then the dads pulled it together and
That's
they ended
fun.
up getting them. Yep.
Yeah, it's
So
fun.
yeah, it's cool.
They had a great setup, and yeah, I was happy with how many teams came out. And to your point, I think having more of those out here is not gonna.
And this
Not out of the
world is
question.
it's coming. So I was looked in the USGA, the RNA, their rules regarding events like this, and they've changed some of their wording in, prizes for amateurs that are playing in events, not only green grass events, but virtual events,
Yeah.
be it at a simulator or now full ball flight golf. And contests are called tee to hole contests, and they don't differentiate golf course contests from simulator contests. They're all one.
Sure.
So even the USGA is beginning to recognize events at facilities like this as golf. They're golf events. They're tee to green golf events,
Interesting.
as opposed to a long drive, as opposed to a close to the hole contest or even a putting contest. So there's different rules with what amateurs can win.
Yeah.
And we want to be good partners with the North Dakota Golf Association, USGA. We want to be having an event where we're giving cash away to somebody playing a scramble, and then all of a sudden they're ineligible to play in the
Right.
They're
North
a
Dakota
professional.
Stroke Play.
They're a professional now.
So
So
it's
similar to green grass, like if we played this summer and fortunate enough to win that tournament, you get pro shop credit.
correct,
Right?
Yep.
And that's similar to what's being done here. is what you're
Correct.
saying.
Yep. Get credit to the golf to Sweet Shots. You could get it for dinner or golf
Whatever.
clubs or
Anywhere
whatever
in
you
Sweet
want.
Shots.
So yeah, it's and golf has always done they've been very clear cut on amateur status versus professional status. You look at other sports, I'll use bowling for example. That line is very gray. You cross back and forth. You can accept cash. I think we won cash when we won
did.
the All City back in the
We
day.
did.
I think there was a reference to our All City championship
There was.
last
Yeah.
show too.
We
That's
talked
two
about it.
references in a row.
Maybe I don't know what you think, to touch on it real quick. Is it
Oh, yeah.
harder to make a hole in one or harder
That's
to bowl
right.
300?
Well, here's the deal. It depends.
Oh.
Accomplished bowlers bowl 300s like it's no big deal.
Really?
Yeah, guys that are, when they're the 250, 260 average guys, their ball is they throw the ball perfect every time. And they have a ball for every lane condition. So all they have to do is figure out what the lane condition is, what the oil block setup is. Get McCullough on here to talk about that. Greg McCullough. But they can lock in, and you watch these guys, they might end up, really good bowlers might end up with, I don't know, half dozen 300s in a year.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It depends. Now, guys like us that we don't bowl, we're using a house ball or we're using a ball that's 20 years old. We roll in there. I'm going to roll 12 in a row. Not going to happen.
Right.
So, but your average day golfer could still make a hole in one.
We talked about it. It's kind of a luck shot. You just need one shot to go in.
Yeah. So I think for your average Joe, bag of donuts, guys like us, way easier to make a hole in one than to get 300. But if you're an upper level guy that has the skill of bowling,
that's interesting.
You're going to make
I didn't know
way
they got
more
that many
300s.
Neither did I.
Okay.
Maybe I overdid it, but these guys they'll have multiple.
Yeah. That's interesting. Even in my bowling class, they didn't share that information.
Did they teach you how to score the game?
They did. You had to do it
It's a
on pen
lost
and paper
art.
as part of the final.
Good.
Don't ask me how because I forgot already. But they also tried to teach us how to throw a curveball, and that was terrible. So I'm back to the straight ball, which if it's good enough for you guys, all city champs, it's good enough for me.
Well, it was back in the day. I became a much better bowler once you start curving it. But it's pretty simple. Just take a football and toss it underhand. That's the same motion.
Football, toss it underhand.
Yeah.
Oh,
how would you toss a football? If you were an official at a football game and you had to toss a ball to your buddy that's going to set the down marker or whatever, you're going to just...
Or the ball boy.
Or the ball boy. Yeah.
So everybody listening.
Everybody's getting bowling tips here on our golf podcast. Good luck with that.
Yeah, for everyone listening too, Chuck and I, we were practicing as Mark was describing.
Makes total sense.
It does.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's our tangent for the day. It seems like we always get one. We go from NDGA rules to bowling. But yeah, I'm excited to have more events out here like that. I think it's a great opportunity. We talk about how short the golf season is here around Fargo, and this blows it wide open. I mean, you can have a 12-month golf season with golf tournaments.
Again, we're
Yep.
wrapping up league play now.
Yep.
Last night from Monday Night League, we can name drop a little bit. Jordy Severson, Tom Mohagan ended
Yeah.
up being our champions from Monday night.
Monday night.
So they advanced to
Moving
the
on.
finals,
Yeah.
and there's a couple
Barely
guys
beat us out.
barely beat us. A couple guys that can play. I mean, Jordy's a Mapster champion,
It is.
Mapleton champion
He
back
is.
in the
Yeah.
day. I mean,
I'm still a little bitter. I had to give strokes to Tom.
Tom Mohagan took a stroke or two from you. Yeah,
Something's wrong with that.
yeah.
Anywho,
We'll audit.
full
We'll
audit's
audit.
going to be done.
Oh boy, everything's going to change now. But
Then
No.
Tuesday Night League, they wrap up tonight.
Yep.
And Wednesday, obviously, tomorrow night.
so we're going to get we'll get our champions from each night, plus a wild card's going to be thrown in there, top point getters from the season.
Yep.
They're going to meet in the finals, 18-hole matches, 2 9-hole matches to decide the winners. Some great prizes given out. Then we turn right around going into our winter league, which with the changes we made for heating purposes and going into it, feel really good about it. I encourage everyone to take a look, get signed up. We got some great prizes, some good giveaways, a lot of different events going on each night, from closest to the pin, hole-in-one contest, putting contests. It's gonna be a party. We're gonna have a really, really good time with it. So
Get a buddy. And
Yeah.
cheat winner. You can cheat winner a little bit.
Yep.
Winner is brutal, but not here.
little
You can cheat it.
getaway every week. Once a week, you get out here for a couple hours and hopefully try and win some money back there and get to play golf.
And if you do, say hi to us.
Yes,
Love to meet you.
Yep, come say hi. I know myself. I'll be probably running the putting contest again, close to, and you guys. I don't know if you're feeling good enough to sign up again, but after
I let my partner down. He's going to be looking for somebody new.
Either that or you got to practice, one of the two.
One
so
of
you
the
got
two.
some time to decide what you're going to do.
so
I got time.
not to cut it too short here, but it looks like my battery's about to die. So I know we were wrapping up anyway.
Yep.
But
No fantasy to pick this next week.
no
Nope.
PNC championship.
Enjoy it.
So
So-
go enjoy the tournament, father son, father daughter, and I don't know. We're gonna be on the fence about next week because next week's almost Christmas season already. So if we're in here or not, but have a happy holiday season to everyone. And thanks for tuning in.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next time.